This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injuries and additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I wanted to talk on this new rumor that I've been hearing about with Microsoft and Xbox on how they're going to bring I think there was like the backwards compatible situation to PC. Here's the thing though that people need to understand about that there are games that aren't available through this backwards compatible and it's a program. Like that's something that I had remember hearing about that a while back, was that it's some sort of program that Microsoft is on, and I'm like, this doesn't need to be a program. This needs to be a permanent feature on all Xbox consoles, PCs, all that stuff. Because, no, here's the thing. So, last year, I discovered this store that sells retro video games. And there's some games where I'm like, for an example, the Project Gotham racing series. I didn't get a chance to play that series back originally when I had an Xbox 360. I didn't play that until now. But that was the thing, though, that a lot of these games, you have to have an Xbox 360 to play them. Like, you're not capable of playing these games on the Xbox Series X. Now, there are some games that are available on the Xbox Series X, but I'm like, it's not all of them. That's my problem, is that and here's what concerns me, because what's crazy is that somebody had just commented underneath one of my videos. It was this meme that I did of this like lady. She was like screaming and crying and all that stuff. But I had made it into a meme where I was all like, somebody back some time ago getting a red ring of death on their Xbox 360. And out of all the Xboxes, the guy listed out the Xbox 360 that he had is the same one that I have. It's like this special edition Star Wars one. And I'm like, bro, I am not trying to have it where I am buy all these games. Like, my thing is this. I'll take the loss on the Xbox 360 getting a red ring of death or just no longer working. What I'm not trying to have is that I'm not able to play all these different games that are only able to be played on the Xbox 360, but they're not able to be played on the Xbox Series X. And that's the thing that confuses me. It's like, well, why even have it? It's like, instead of it being some games, it should have been all the games. Even if it's on some stuff where it's like there's a device that I can plug into the Xbox Series X, and then it allows me to play Xbox 360 games. I'm like, okay, then so be it. And then that was the one thing that I tried doing. So I guess there is a way where you can have like a emulation thing going on with your Xbox Series X. But when I tried doing it, it was like, it's this like step-by-step process where I'm like, you trying to figure this stuff out. And I'm like, fam, this is confusing. Like, I'm going to be flat out honest with you. This is confusing. It just seemed like it would be a lot easier if Xbox said, hey, we're rolling out an update. All the Xbox 360 games that you have, they are now playable on the Xbox Series X. Wouldn't that be easier? Versus me having to go back and forth from YouTube tutorial to forum to tweet to all these other different social media posts. And I'm like, bro, it should have just been a simple walk in the park. Like, you just flip a switch in the settings and then now you can play all these old games. But it's not like that. And I'm like, man, that's the thing where I'm like, I haven't really been all that, quick to going back and forth to this store. Because, at one point in time, I was shopping at this store a lot. But now that it's getting to that point in time, because I'm like, the PlayStation 3 that I have, I know it's on it's literally on its last leg, and I know eventually it is going to get to a point in time where, there was one game that I was trying to play, wouldn't even let me play it, and I'm like, man, I know it's going to get to a point in time where this PlayStation 3 is going to give up on me, and I'm not trying to have that. So that's why I'm like, and that's even for a PlayStation 2. I'm like, trust me, I'm not leaving them out the the conversation. I'm like, no, because PlayStation 5, I'm like, it trips me out because, like, at least with Xbox, they do allow you to, if you have like a like one of the games that is supported with the Xbox compatible system or situation, they do have it where it's like it ain't no like, oh, you have to stream the game to play it. No, they say if you have the disc, you can play the game. Yeah, you'll have to install it. It ain't gonna just be no simple, you just put the game in the console and start playing. You have to install it, but you are able to play it just like how you would on the Xbox 360. PlayStation 5, on the other hand, they have it where if the game, I guess, yeah, if it gets remastered, because I know they have been remastering some of their games, if the game gets remastered, then you'll be able to play it without streaming it. But if the game's not remastered, because there was this one game that I played a while back called Brink, and it's like this shooter game, but I had to stream that game. It wasn't no situation where I could just go and just play the game, and so pretty much like, so like if you're playing the game and on the PlayStation 5 and you're streaming it, let's say not your power but your Wi-Fi goes down or something, like, yeah, let's say you have like some cheap generic Wi-Fi, it goes down, that means the game's gonna shut down wherever you're at in the mission or whatever. So it's like, and that's the thing that and that's why I'm like, if I'm playing a game, like, so yeah, let's say if I am playing Project Gotham Racing and my Wi-Fi goes down, at least I will be able to finish that race, knowing that I wouldn't, because nowadays when I mainly play games, I'm live streaming or recording the video. Well, I guess like if I'm recording the video, then I wouldn't even trip about it. I'm like, okay, my Wi-Fi is down, so be it and stuff. At least I can finish this video. But if I'm streaming the game off of the PlayStation 5, and I'm like, why do you guys have it set up like that? Why can it not just be a thing where if I have the disc, I'm able to play the game? You guys, and that's the thing that trips me out. They did it before. They had it where, so if you had the original PlayStation 3 that came out, like that very first, that fat PlayStation 3 that came out, you were able to play all the PlayStation 1 games and all the PlayStation 2 games. Then for some reason they came out with the other PlayStation 3s, and they had it where you were only able to play just nothing but the PlayStation 1 and of course the PlayStation 3 games. But for some reason they took out the PlayStation 2 feature where you couldn't play the PlayStation, because I was like, okay, I'll just go and get me one of the like the last generation of PlayStation 3s. At least that would be a little bit more newer than the one that I have, because the one that I have, I'm like, fam, it's getting old. I'm like, it's getting extremely old. Like that was the one that did come out, like I think it was 2006 or 7 or something like that. So hold on for a second, let me see when that PlayStation 3, because I got it in 2007. I just don't remember exactly when it came out. PlayStation 3, let's see, so they had release date November 17th, 2006. So this is a 19-year-old console. It's almost 19 years. Eventually next year, it's going to be a 20-year-old console. Now, and that's the thing. I remember looking that up. They did say that the lifespan for them consoles, it's pretty much like at that point where it is going to give up on me at some point, But, I mean, there was a time where I wasn't using it, so maybe that saved some of its life. But I'm like, okay, when, I guess, is the time, for this PlayStation 3? When is it going to go out? When is it eventually going to be at a point where it's like I go and turn it on and it's not turning on no more? So that's, and then I did look that up, and I'm like, okay, well, what about the games? And they did, and I remember seeing that. They was like, if the game ain't scratched up and it's, in perfect condition, you can have those games for like a lot longer than the lifespan of a PlayStation 3. So what sense does that even make? Why make the game where it's like the game can have like this long lifespan, but the PlayStation 3s can't? And then you're having to constantly go, and eventually it is going to get to a point in time where it's like you ain't even going to be able to find the PlayStation 2 or 3 to play the old PlayStation games. Even the PlayStation 1. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. To me, it just don't make no sense to have these consoles, knowing, and then that's the thing too, where it's like, knowing what developers be doing nowadays, where it's like, oh, let's just come out with half of a video game, and then just throughout the years, update it to where, okay, like 4 or 5 years from now, then you'll get a fully functional video game. And then they want to call it the quote-unquote complete edition. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, the game should have been completed when it came out, not 4 or 5 years later after it done came out. But that's why I'm like, it would just make sense if PlayStation and Xbox, and I've said this before, where if you guys came out with an update to just have it where, or even if it was just some device where we can play these old games. and I guarantee, and that's the thing too, where it's like, if you're thinking about like the money, it's like, yes, imagine the amount of money that you would make off of a device like that, where it's like, okay, yeah, you plug this into a USB thing, and then it's like messages pop up saying you are now allowed to put in and play all the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4 games and all the Xbox 360 games and stuff. But to me, I'm like, man, to have it where it's like all these games exist, and it's games that were good, a lot better than some of the games that be coming out today, and it's like we can't play them unless Sony remasters it, Microsoft remastered. Well, Microsoft, they don't really be doing that. I mean, if it's like a remaster, then it's like one of them like popular like Resident Evil or something like that, but they don't really be doing like that, like kind of like how PlayStation, how they do like with Twisted Metal. I think they did recently come out with like some Armored Core, but that's the thing though. It's not like you have to, and then that's another thing with PlayStation. That's why I have to say Xbox is a little bit better than PlayStation, because they have it set up where on PlayStation you have to be subscribed to their membership to play like the old PlayStation games. Xbox, on the other hand, I don't think you have to be subscribed to their membership to play the games. Like, hold on for a second. Let me look it up real quick. I didn't mean to open up the Xbox app, but hold on. I'm like trying to click on all these different tabs. Do you need to be subscribed to Xbox to play the old Xbox games? Let's just see. No, you don't need an Xbox Game Pass subscription to play old Xbox games. If you own the game digitally or have the disc, you can play it on the Xbox console without a subscription. The subscription is primarily needed for online multiplayer access and access to the Game Pass library of games. So that's why I'm like, it trips me out that PlayStation, it ain't the same way. Like, yeah, if you have like a old PlayStation 4 game, that's as far back as it goes on the PlayStation 5. That's why I told myself, I was like, nah, after these consoles, if the PlayStation 6 and whatever the Xbox is going to be called, if you can't play every old game that came out like back then, I'm this most likely the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. That's going to be the last console that I end up getting, because I'm like, I would rather just play, because you see where sometimes like those games, they exist on PC, so I'm like, and you'll just have to go through one of those like pirate type websites. I don't encourage it, but if it comes down between me saving my money and going to one of those websites, then so be it. Because I'm like, I'm not going to be out here buying $100 Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. And then eventually it is going to get to a point where it's like, okay, they're going to be even more rare. And then people are going to try to like go and resell them for like, old PlayStation 3 costing more than a PlayStation 5. I'm saying, like, hold on for a second. Let me just see. They're probably not right now, because there probably is still some that's, fully functional and stuff. But, yeah, having it where it's like, yeah, I know that PlayStation 3 don't work. Somebody's selling a PlayStation 3 on eBay for $15. But then you have, like, some of, and they don't, and see, that's the thing. You don't see any of the, oh, wait a minute, here's one. So there's, like, they do have, like, the PlayStation 3 that I have, where it's $161. And then they got some of the other, the newer ones, where it's like $139. Then they got one where it like comes with the cables and all that stuff, $119. That's at Walmart. So that's, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to have it where I'm spending $100 on the new PlayStation, because it's like, eventually I see it like this. You're going to go out, you're going to buy one of those PlayStations, play it for like maybe a week or two, and then eventually it's going to give out on you. So now it's like you got like a closet filled with a bunch of different PlayStation. Maybe there might be some stores out there that can fix that stuff, but if not, then it's like you're going to have a closet filled with a bunch of different PlayStation 3s and Xbox 360s and Xboxes and PlayStation 2s and 1s, and it's like, bro, why not? Wouldn't it be easier? This would be my question to Sony and Microsoft. Wouldn't it be easier if you just allowed full access to all those old games? Because I'm like, my question is, it's like, okay, if you guys don't want to do that, then why? Because you want people to buy the games that are coming out today. The games that are coming out today aren't good. And you see where a lot of the games nowadays, like if it's a good video game, then you got to like play it on PC or something, But I mean, yeah, there are some games out there where it's like, they're on console and it's all right. But I'm like, comparing it to like old games, like comparing the new Modern Warfare or Black Ops 6 game to the original Black Ops 1. Like, yeah, you can play Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops on the Xbox Series X and PC, but I'm like, fam, I would rather play that than Black Ops 6, because Black Ops 1 was actually good. It wasn't this halfway broken. The last time I tried playing Black Ops 6, that game just randomly crashed on me. I was halfway in the middle of a mission. I remember, I think I jumped down from some ledge or something into this room, and the game just randomly crashed, and it crashed on me. Black Ops 1 never did that. That game never crashed on me. So that's why I'm like, that's why you see where a lot of people still be wanting to play retro games. Like, you see where people have a retro game collection. What person has like a new game collection? Because the games nowadays, it's like, yeah, you see where a lot of those games be going right back to it, or going to a GameStop's because somebody's trying to trade it in and either get the cash or get another game that's coming out. You know, so it's like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, having it where there's the retro games, like, they just have it where they're playable on these new consoles, versus having it where it's like they're not playable, and then it's like I gotta go and get me an old console, and we don't know how long that console is gonna last. So that's why I'm like, yeah, Microsoft, Sony, I don't know, but Microsoft, if you guys are gonna bring this thing back, it needs to be all games, not just some. All right, it needs to be all of them. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And because I feel like that's another thing too. They'll be all like, oh, well, it's like there's like some video games out there where it's like so maybe not digitally, but a physical version. Like, so yeah, let's say like Need for Speed Most Wanted. Like, yeah, that game, it's, if you wanted to, I guess, like sell that game digitally again, you probably would have to pay like the licensing fee to the musicians that were playing. So that's why I'm like, okay, just have it where it's a physical copy then. So at least then, but I mean, if it is digital, then it's like, yeah, just maybe not have it where it's available to be purchased in stores, but at least a person could re-download it and play it off of their Xbox Series X. That would make more sense. But anyways, yeah, like I said, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.